Guess you gotta go through one of the side doors. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Wow, they really made it nice with the Christmas decorations.
That's right. It was right after Christmas when we were here for our visit. Anyway, welcome to the Chambersburg Mall in south central Pennsylvania. We're a little over 20 miles to the west of Gettysburg, PA, if you're familiar with that area. Located off of Interstate 81 in a rural portion of Pennsylvania sits this absolutely extremely dead mall. It's built in the middle of nowhere, although in a nearby Chambersburg is where all the businesses are. And I say nowhere because when you arrive at this mall, there's really nothing near it until you get into town where all the businesses went. Therefore, this mall struggled and has been dying a slow death for a long time. A former Crown American mall, the mall opened in 1982. Original anchors at the time were Hess's and GB, plus a Carmike Cinemas, which have since been replaced with the AMC Cinemas. Bon-Ton was added in 1985, and Sears joined in 1991 when it moved from downtown Chambersburg. The peak for the mall was in the 1990s and early 2000s. Despite Hess's going out of business completely in the early 90s, the mall thrived when it had its peak of 75 or so stores and tenants. JCPenney replaced the closed Hess's, and Value City had moved into GB in 1992, but closed in 2008 when that department store went completely under. It was then replaced with Burlington Coat Factory, which then closed in 2019. Sears closed in 2014 and became Black Rose Antiques and Collectibles, and if you're not familiar with that store, I highly recommend you go there. I had the opportunity to shop through that store, and I found an antique Pepsi clock, which I absolutely love, and you can see in the photo here. And that store is family run. Everybody there is extremely friendly, and they're basically the lifeline for the mall, especially during our visit, being during the COVID era. The movie theater hadn't yet reopened, if it even does at this point. So if you ever do frequent the area or visit the area, support Black Rose Antiques and Collectibles. It's a great place. Anyway, back into the history of the mall. JCPenney closed in 2015, and Bon-Ton closed in 2018 as the result of the entire company filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Crown American, the original mall developer and owner, known for several malls throughout Pennsylvania and the infamous Schuylkill Mall, which is now long gone, their portfolio was acquired by the Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust, or PREIT, in 2003. In 2009, it was reported that this mall was one of the 10 most endangered in the United States. At that time, it only had an occupancy rate of 62%, as businesses had already begun to flock the nearby shopping centers and leave this mall. Because of its slow decline, in 2012 the mall was put up for sale yet again, and in 2013 it was purchased by the Mason Asset Management for $8.8 million. Nowadays it's owned by Namdar Realty Group, which does not have a great track record for malls. Just look at the Uniontown Mall for example. Fast forward to 2021 when we were here. The occupancy was less than 10%, I would say. I would say there were maybe less than 10 occupants in the entire mall. And actually, since our video, Christopher and Banks closed as they filed for bankruptcy and closed all of their stores. So that left this mall another hole here. And even for the tenants that are here, several of them are owned by military recruitment centers such as the Navy, the Marines, the Army, and a couple of family-run stores such as Seen on TV and Extreme Trends. In a previous visit in the summer of 2020, right after the lockdowns had lifted and things had reopened, we visited the mall, and the owner of the two stores I just mentioned, he was so excited to see us in the mall, he tried desperately to make a sale, and I honestly felt really bad for him because he probably hadn't seen any customers all day. So I bought a Leonard Skinner t-shirt off of him. I paid a little bit more money for it, but I wanted to support the store and the mall and give him some hope. And I felt that bad for him too. And I mean, looking back, we were probably the only customers he had all day. And that's a darn shame because I hate to see a mall struggle. I hate to see it fail. But as we know, brick and mortar is dying. Everything is online shopping nowadays. And like I said before, this mall is basically in the middle of nowhere. And even though there are nearby shopping centers, everything is on the other side of Interstate 81 and very easy to get to. You don't have to go onto the interstate to get to every shopping center. You have little access roads and side roads. Here where the mall is, there's nothing else there. Maybe a dollar store nearby, and that's it, and a gas station. Also, some sad news coming from the mall. Right after our visit in January, I think it was February, I read the news article, there was a report of a shooting at the mall. It turned out to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, therefore being suicide, that the Pennsylvania State Police reported to. And I felt it was necessary to bring it up in the video because as someone who has attempted suicide, hence the semicolon tattoo on my wrist, I know people have asked about it. It means your story is not over yet. But anyway, I felt the need to bring that up because it was a tragic story and nobody should ever be in a situation where they feel that's the only way out. There is hope. There are people that'll listen to you, and as you can see on the screen, there is the hotline. If you or anybody you know is struggling or feeling suicidal, I don't ever want to hear about people taking their lives at all. So I'm sorry, but I felt the need to bring that up. But anyway, I am going to start to wrap up the video here. I did want to point out this little old arcade area. I was surprised to see all these machines in here just collecting dust, not being used. But then again, they would probably spend more in electricity to run these things than the money that they would make if people came in and played them. I mean, I certainly would have. I would have had a blast, but as we know, that's not going to happen. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And with that said, take care, stay awesome, and have a Chambersburg Mall-licious day. It's creepy enough that you got several of the letters broken, but that they actually made an effort by putting LED lights in there. Anthony was just back here working. Where the hell did he go? Forget it. I'm just going to go to Ponderosa.